Hey, what's up, guys? UrAvgWarGamer is back with another video of World of Warships. And man, oh man, oh man, we have some news related to the upcoming ships right now that they have released yesterday in the form of devlog. And well, at this point, I am not surprised at all that Wargaming, whatever they have done in the past, and try to make sure that they nerf something like a shotgunning in the form of some changes for the submarine are now still coming back in the form of a new premium submarine. Like, imagine this is wargaming right now. Created a problem in the form of a shotgunning nerf for all the older submarines, and then coming up with the brand new solution that does solve that problem. So they are basically sort of unnerfing the shotgunning mechanic that they have nerfed previously, and now they are coming up with the new submarine that does exactly that. And also, we have the American destroyers that basically have the best smoke ever in the game. The most flexible smoke that one can have on a ship, and now these new American destroyers will equip soon in this game. I will explain very shortly, and also going to be explaining in brief so that I will try to cover up everything, but in a very short note. So, we have new American destroyers. I will talk about it. There are 4 destroyers up to tier 10, and then we have this insane submarine. I don't know, man. Wargaming, they never cease to surprise me, and at this point, I don't get surprised much because, well, they want to make money. They are literally doing the business in a very ridiculous way possible, and they are not even shy about it. They just want to be open, and they just want to get our wallets. I have to say it, because the moment I will talk about those things, it will be clear to you that what Wargaming is really up to. But let's talk about these new American alternate branch of destroyers that they are coming up with. So these will have HE and SAP shells, by the way. They will have 137mm guns. Okay, they will have worse concealment overall. They have small number of torpedoes, which I would say kind of reminds me of the Kid. But it also kind of reminds me of the Sherman. Sherman is a big ship, but also having HE and SAP shells. So these American destroyers have the combination of Kid in terms of, I would say, torpedo power, for example, like 5 torpedoes only, not a lot of torpedoes. But the HE and SAP shells kind of also reminds me of the Forrest Sherman. So the combination of both, except they don't have heal, but also having this consumable, which I will talk about it in a couple of minutes from now. So they will have improved main battery guns with decent rate of fire. They will have HE and SAP shells, which I have already explained. They have average speed by wargaming standards. We will talk about this as well. They are basically excelling at mid to long range engagements. They will have some sort of not that impressive concealment, which we will take a look at. And then these destroyers will be large, and then they also going to have some decent HP pool in return. We will take a look at that, how much HP they will have. But here comes the new mechanic. This is, I would say, game changing. I mean, if you get this thing on any older branch of destroyers, you can make it so much flexible that I cannot even kind of like fathom the impressive capability that this smoke can come up for even the older branches if they implement that. But they will never, because they want to create a new market. And this new smoke mechanic is exactly will do that for wargaming. So what this will do here, if I can explain it in a very short way, instead of having a finite number of charges that you usually see on maybe the American destroyer, I would say every destroyer out there in the game, this line of destroyers will have a smoke generator that can be activated and deactivated at will. That's right. These destroyers, you can pop the smoke whenever you want, disengage, and then you can absolutely deactivate it as well. So you will have so much control on the smoke, unlike anything in the game. For example, if you have gearing, you smoke up, you find the engagement worse against other destroyer, you smoke up to disengage, but then your smoke is very, very long duration, right? And you basically waste, I would say, 75% of the smoke because you just want to disengage against other destroyer. Now, here's the thing that kind of makes it very powerful. Unlike gearing, this smoke will make the use of charge mechanics similar to a submarine's dive capacity, though this smoke generator cannot recharge. I will explain that if you don't understand. So what it does, you use the smoke generator and it will have some sort of minimum activation period, and then you can also deactivate that smoke. Kind of like if you press the smoke button, it will activate for some time because it's sort of having a minimum period, activation period. I mean, you cannot like you pop it for 5 seconds and then you just basically press the deactivation button and then your smoke runs out. That would be an abuse. So what they have done, if I look at the numbers for the smoke, they're basically given 140 seconds of total usage of time, and then you have the minimum time usage, that action time I would say for 20 seconds. So you basically press the button of the smoke, disperse, or I would say dispersion time of the smoke will be for like 20 plus 5 seconds, because the dispersion time is 5 seconds, the activation time minimum is 20 seconds, and then afterwards you will have a cooldown of 25 seconds. Basically like better daring smokes. Why? Because this is the minimum usage time. You can increase the usage time to like 30 seconds, 40 seconds, 50 seconds. You want to farm damage, you use it for even 100 seconds. You use it, or so I would say your usage will totally depend on your engagement. If you want to utilize the whole 140 seconds of smoke in a single go, you can do that. But if you do not want to do that, you can always use it for only 20 seconds. And then you just have to wait for that cooldown time before you use it again. That is nothing short of impressiveness. This is the best smoke that I can think of in the game. And now they are getting this. And well, if you take a look at a couple of other things that they have mentioned, in the future, more ships in our game may take advantage of this type of consumable with a total duration rather than separate charges. So they are looking to sell this in this game, or I would say in this market. I mean, it's the best thing that you can have. A control over your smoke that you don't have in many destroyers, except maybe for the British smokes, because they are very short duration. But now you will have the flexibility to either use it for long, like for example 140 seconds, you can utilize it for full 140 seconds if you want to, or you may be able to use it for very short time, for minimum like 20 seconds or 30 seconds or 40 seconds, and then you have to just face the cooldown time. Impressive. But again, they are selling this, and they will sell it obviously not only in the tech trees but in the premiums, because they have already said this above, right? This is exactly what Wargaming has said. So we will be putting that in premiums as well. That's what they have said. Even though they didn't tell us, the words they can manipulate is kind of insane. And well, you can always take a look at the stats. I mean, you have good torpedoes at tier 7, but at tier 8 you will have not a lot of torpedoes. You have HE and SAP shells. You have the smoke generator that will have increase in time, or depending upon the tier. Tier 9, tier 10, basically it. You have a better gun performance, like your reload time would be a lot better compared to older ships, or I would say lower tech tree ships, I would say. Tier 9 will have lower DPM, tier 10 will have better DPM. Good HE pen, 38 millimeter. You can basically pen American battleship broadsides like pretty much easily, because they usually have 38 millimeter the side armor. Upper belt and lower belt. Upper belt, I would say, is basically easily pennable. So Thunderer, or I would say the British ships, French ships, and American ships will take a lot of damage from this sap shell because of the penetration, and the cruisers as well. So this is the smoke. Wow. Nothing short of impressiveness, at least in a way that Wargaming will sell it, definitely in the form of premiums, for sure. I mean, it's just a word. It's just literally the word that they're trying to use for the tech trees, but they are coming in the future for premiums. And talking about the premium, here comes the most insane dev blog, I would say, thing that I have never thought that Wargaming will do, but obviously Wargaming has definitely done an amazing job in bringing back the shotgunning mechanic. Now, why I'm saying this? First of all, let me talk about this new Japanese submarine, I-5644. It's a tier 10 submarine, okay? So now, what they are saying here, this submarine only going to have acoustic torpedoes that can be used in two ways. So they don't have alternate torpedoes, okay? You can stay at safe distance and rely on their high range and maximum damage. We will talk about the maximum damage along with the fast reload. If you choose to do so, they will work as unguided torpedoes because of their limited sonar range of 7 km, while the torpedo range is 15 km. But by the way, remember, they talked about this thing literally in a submarine seal, the tier 10, and they have buffed that thing significantly to the so ridiculous levels that if you haven't seen that submarine, you can go and check that out. That submarine literally is also like a shotgunning machine, but you don't have this 3 kilometer damage numbers that you will be getting in this ship, which I will explain. So don't worry about that. We have talked about something like this. Now, what they're saying, this also has a second tactical option up their sleeves, because their hull torpedoes have rather unique parameters. So here's the thing, allowing them to retain higher than average damage at close ranges. Oh my, they have nerfed this. They have nerfed this. And now they're coming up with this again. So here's the thing. So you can take a riskier approach and get close to the enemy to aim your torpedoes using sonar. Oh my goodness. They're just trying to manipulate the words if you don't understand this. I will explain, so don't worry. So, okay. They will have, it's basically the I-56. It will have a poor dive capacity, it has large size, bad concealment, everything. But remember, you can always stay in the periscope depth and you have the best concealment than any other ship in the game. So it does not matter if it has a bad concealment. You know that the periscope depth is the best thing for a submarine. Unless you are not a good player in submarine. And I'm telling you, a submarine is not that difficult if you have learned that learning curve, I would say. So, again, trying to manipulate. Even her high HP pool won't save you. At close ranges, you will be having difficulty. You should use hit and run tactics. Again, trying to make sure that they show that this is a big weakness. It's not. It's literally not a big weakness, okay? Fast dive capacity regeneration, okay. It's also going to have 140mm deck gun. And it's also going to have HE shells, which are good at starting fires. I wonder what will be the fire starting capability of that single HE shell that you are throwing from the submarine. I'm telling you, it must be more than 10%. I didn't know that. We will take a look at the gun. 16%. Oh my god. 16% fire chance for 140mm. Wow, Wargaming, you are living in a fantasy land, bro. What the? I don't have any words. Oh my god. Okay, by the way, I haven't checked this number. I haven't checked this. 16% fire chance. They're trying to utilize the guns in a firing range is 10 kilometer. Ouch. 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 If you don't understand this thing, you will soon. Because when a submarine will do a flood on you, and then he shoot the HE shell on you, and that one single shell will set a fire, then the pain will be so real. Yeah, 10 kilometer range. Yeah. Basically making it a destroyer as well in setting fires. Bro, great. I mean, 2 seconds of reload time. Bro, I haven't checked these numbers. Trust me, I haven't checked these numbers. Unreal. Hey, but it's okay. I will take a look at something else as well, which kind of just completely bamboozle your mind. Don't worry about this. So what they're saying here, HE shells, starting fires, come in handy. Okay, her gun is complemented with main battery reload booster consumable. What in the world Wargaming is right now? It seems like a cuckoo land. It's like a cuckoo land. Wargaming it's not World of Warship, it's a world of cuckoo lands. World of cuckoo ships. Bro, main battery reload booster on top of like having 2 seconds of reload time? And 16% fire chance? What is the main battery? 8 seconds of duration? 50%. Oh my god. What is this? Reserve battery unit? Hydrophone? You also have hydrophone? Submarine surveillance? Bro. Now here's the thing. Here's it's not over, guys. It's not over. These torpedoes will work similarly to most submarine torpedoes. In that the damage they deal increases with the distance they travel up to a certain point. Okay, the same thing. If a submarine sends the torpedoes under 3 kilometer, as of right now, that damage of the torpedo will only going to be the 10% of the total damage. Now, here's the thing that Wargaming is gonna do with this submarine. The difference lies in that while most submarine torpedoes will reach their maximum damage output after traveling 3 kilometers, okay, these torpedoes will only reach half of their maximum damage at that point. What in this world is Wargaming living? They have nerfed the shotgun because of this. And now they are saying that they will be coming up with the same thing. Instead of having 10% maximum damage, what they are saying, it's gonna be half of their maximum damage. 50% maximum damage that you can do under 3 kilometers. That's what they are saying. 50% torpedo damage. And you know what the torpedo damage of that submarine is? 20,800. If you half the damage of torpedo, that is 10,400. So you can do 10,400 damage under 3 kilometers, if I'm not wrong. Because that's what I basically able to understand. These torpedoes will only reach half of their maximum damage at that point. Look at that. So after traveling 3 kilometers, what they're saying, from that point on, which is 3 kilometers, the damage potential will continue to escalate until it's reaching its maximum at 10 kilometers. So you can use these torpedoes as alternate torpedoes. So if you basically throw these torpedoes out of 10 kilometer, outside of 10 kilometer range, for example, there's a battleship. It's basically 11 kilometer distance away, for example. So the torpedo will deal 20,800 damage. Anything under 10 kilometer, the torpedo damage will be half. But bro, this is again the shotgunning. You can literally shotgun destroyers once again with this premium submarine. Can someone kill me, please? Can someone kill me? What is this? What is this? You bringing the shotgun again? 15 kilometer range, 78 knots of speed, 2.1 kilometer detection, 30 knots of speed, 6 torpedo loaders, DCP, hydro, reserve battery, submarine surveillance, 5 kilometer. Okay, that's not 6, but 5 kilometer. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. I know it's the good news for a submarine player. They will have a wallet coming up for these submarines. I'm sure the submarine players, like CV players, sure, they will have a wallet coming up once again. But again, that's not the players. That's wargaming. Wargaming abusing us, and we getting abused. This has to be controlled, guys. You have to literally tell us what do you think about this whole thing. I am absolutely flabbergasted, disgusted by this. They're making a submarine broken again in terms of shotgunning. They're literally doing this again. I know it's a rant. It seems like a rant, but the rant is real. The rant definitely should be there. What is this? What is this? I'm sorry, guys. I'm sorry, guys. I cannot control myself, but they make the carriers broken because wargaming wants it. They make the submarines broken because wargaming wants it. Players just get abused because they want to sell the broken ships and people love it. This is what exactly looks like. This is exactly what looks like. Destroying the market before by shotgunning, introducing shotgunning, nerfing the whole market before, and now creating a new market by introducing this. No wonder this is gonna be even more ridiculous form of stuff coming up in the future. This is literally just the tip of the iceberg. This is literally just the tip of the iceberg. Soviet battleship Zarya Sobri, tier 9. So what this will have? Hard-hitting 406mm guns, special accuracy settings like Kremlin. So they will be good in close fights. And that's basically it. And I think they will have something like good concealment, defensive air fire, fighter consumable. Again, everything they want to come up with to basically counter these new CVs. Okay, selling us the solution. Selling us the solution. Obviously, selling us the solution. Defensive air fire. If they make it really good against the new carriers, selling it a solution. Fighter consumable. They have buffed it to 6 fighters, selling it as a solution. Fast Soviet damage control. Basically a Kremlin. If you look at the stats, torpedo protection amazing, 9 guns, alpha damage is great, repair party, again, fast control. These are the fast DCP that you usually find on Kremlin, Sovietsky Soyuz, Vladivostok, defensive air fire, fighter. By the way, 3rd slot and 4th slot are different. Fighter consumable is different at another slot, and defensive air fire is different. So that is pretty powerful. If I'm not wrong, this is actually pretty powerful. After the CV rework, this will get really powerful, without a doubt. French cruiser Le Havre. Sorry, I don't know. I'm sorry if anyone is French. I absolutely apologize. If you can correct me and my mistake, I am willing to hear this. I never say that I'm a good speaker of English, but you can always let me know in the comments. So I'm sorry, French guys. I'm sorry. Okay, La Havre. So that's what basically having, I would say, some secondary gimmick. So what they're trying to do is that it will have like 10 138 millimeter guns broadside. So they will have 10 guns here. So they will be having some insane secondary DPM, something like that. So it's basically almost like a cruiser breast, and also have 330 millimeter guns. So reduced accuracy, longer reload. Now that is something which I would say seems to be pretty okay, because we have seen usually these sort of gimmicks already in this game. So this is nothing new, right? So that does not mean that it's bad, okay? But Wargaming thinks it's bad, that's why they come up with some unique, ridiculous things that we are seeing right now above. Strong secondary armament with decent HP. So it will basically having some good secondaries. They will have a main battery load booster. Look at that. If you take a look at the guns, 330 millimeter guns, 8.1 kilometer. Damage DCP, hydro or defensive air fire, fighter or engine boost, repair party, and main battery load booster. You have 2 charges, so not a whole lot of charges, but still charges regardless. So you will have secondary DPM coming up with this ship. So the cruiser that is basically having good secondaries. That's what basically this ship looks like. 60 seconds of fire duration, 25 millimeter plating, so vulnerable bow, I'm assuming. And then we have an Italian battleship, Marcantonio Colonna. Marcantonio Colonna. I hope I just pronunciate that correctly, because I feel like Italian during that time when I'm pronunciating it. Feels like I'm having some pizza time while talking about this word, or taking a look at this word. Okay, apart from that, well, this is gonna be, I would say it's like an Italian battleship Guispe Verdi. Not going to have sap shells, but only going to have HE and AP. Not going to have best accuracy, again, same like Guispe Verdi. And you have sap secondaries, right? With improved penetration, good rate of fire. And also going to have 60 seconds of smoke generator. We will take a look at the stats. And that's what basically really looks like for this ship. 54,000 HP, not that good. Torpedo protection gets to be like the tier 9 battleship that we have taken a look at. That thing also have like really good torpedo protection. I wonder why. And also this also looks like to have, that's a cruiser. Good torpedo protection. 4 guns, 380 millimeter one, 381 millimeter, 18.3 kilometer range. What is the sigma parameter? 1.7. Basically, Guispe Verdi. Exhaust smoke generator 60 seconds. I think that might be a lot much viable at lower tier, because that 60 seconds at lower tier is going to be a lot powerful compared to tier 9, compared to tier 10. Because less radars overall. If you get top notch matchmaking, if you get top tier, I think these SAP secondaries will be a lot much more powerful than, I would say, compared to tier 9 or tier 10. Because you always meet super ships when you play Guispe Verdi. This will never gonna meet super ships. So that is a big advantage. By the way, these are the older models that they have previously showed us in the last devlog, or I would say the older new ship devlog, Nenning. and William de Arreste. We will take a look at it once they will update it in game, or they will be released. But this is the devlog. I don't think so. I haven't done much ranting in this game much, but I think this deserves to be a big rant. This is disgusting. This is another. They just want to add like Submarine. That's just gonna sell like hotcakes. I'm smelling wallets. I'm smelling whale submarines wallets. Nothing else but wallets and wallets and wallets. Nothing else. This is literally a solution. And wallets are coming up in this game. No wonder. Anyways, thank you guys for watching. Please let me know in the comments. I have put the links in the chapter so you can always check out everything that I have explained. Till then, peace out.